It is humiliating as a country to not have control over our own territory. This border behind us, in spite of all the great efforts of Texas and Florida sent people, this border, because of the neglect of the Biden administration, because of their intentional failures, this border is controlled by the Mexican drug cartels. That is a disgrace. That is horrific. And yet that is exactly what is happening. What has happened since Joe Biden took office? Millions and millions of illegal aliens have poured into this country. And yes, there have been criminal aliens that have come in. There have been people that our own government says are on the terror watch list. There are people that have been deported multiple times already who are coming back into this country. That is not good for the American people, and that's not limited to just these border towns. We've had instances in Florida where people have been killed by people that have come across the border illegally under Biden's watch. It's unacceptable and it needs to stop. When you have this many people, mass migration at this scale represents a huge burden on communities. It represents a burden on taxpayers. It represents a burden on medical, on education, on criminal justice. And it's not just limited to towns in South Texas. We're seeing the impact in communities all across the United States of America. It's also, what we're seeing here is profoundly unfair to American citizens who are having to bear the brunt of this illegal migration. It's also unfair to legal immigrants who've actually navigated the process like they're supposed to. It's almost like they could have saved a lot of time and been better off had they just shown up at the border illegally. What kind of message is that sending to people who are actually doing the right thing? You notice vast expanses of this southern border does not have a border wall. The federal government has not gotten that job done. That's made it so much easier for people to be able to come to this country illegally. I note that Texas has had to put up barbed wire. They've had to put up different types of boxes to deter people. And I'm glad that they're doing that. But honestly, this is a national border. This is the border for the United States. It should be the national government, the federal government, who's coming in and securing it. And yes, I support the states stepping up in these instances, but this is a major failure that people are allowed to come in the way they are.